So for this recipe, we are going to need some boneless, skinless breasts that have either been cut, thin, sliced, or have been pounded out. You can see these are thin. They've been cut in half. I just need to trim that off. But they're just pieces of the breast that are just filleted so they're nice and thin. And I got my skillet here heating up with some vegetable oil, letting it start to get hot. I don't have a whole lot because I don't want to like deep fry them, but I do want to sear them and make the outside crispy. I've got 2 of these pie dishes here. I find these are awesome for baking. Of course they're good for baking. For dipping and transferring the chicken. Here I've just got buttermilk. Nothing, just plain buttermilk. And here I'm going to make the coating, and I'm going to use some all-purpose flour, breadcrumbs. I don't have any on hand. I haven't had a chance to make any, so these are store-bought and seasoned. Seasonings of your choice. I've got garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of adobo. I find this stuff has a little bit of everything in it. It's wonderful. Salt and pepper. And then for the end, some wing sauce. You can make your own, but this is in the pantry. I have no idea where it came from, but I'm sure if I asked my husband, he could tell me exactly where it came from. So it's been in the pantry, and the expiration date is still good. So I figured let's not do something with it. So I'm going to just put maybe half a cup of flour, sprinkle in some breadcrumbs, and season it. Season it however you like. And I'm going to just going to dip it in the buttermilk, dip it in the breadcrumb or flour or whatever mixture that you would like, and then just fry it here. And then I'm going to get a cookie sheet, and I'm going to line it with foil and put a cooling rack in it. That way I can put them in the oven and cook them off just to make sure that they're done. So let me get this started. Figured I'd just show you real quick how I'm doing it. I'm just taking a tablespoon and using it just to put a couple spoons of flour. And I don't like using like a whole big amount of flour and then having a whole bunch to waste. So I'm just gonna do like that there. That's 4 tablespoons, 4 heaping tablespoons. And then I'm just gonna take maybe half the amount. Throw them in like that. That looks good. Just take a pinch of salt. Remember, these are seasoned breadcrumbs, so don't need to go too heavy. This is my onion powder. Just going to, that looks good. Some garlic powder. Sprinkle that in. And just a couple pinches of adobo. There. And then just whisk it all up. And it's ready to go. That's all I'm gonna do. I am gonna taste the flour mixture. I know my husband gets on to me all the time when I ask him to taste the mixture, you know, to see if it needs any more salt or if he thinks it needs some cayenne or something, and he gripes that all I can taste is flour. But I don't know. I can taste the seasonings to know whether or not, you know, they're good in here. So if you want to taste it, go for it. If not, then don't. But I'm going to taste it and season it accordingly and dip, fry. Alright, so I leave all my seasonings and stuff out in case I need to make another batch of seasoning for the chicken. But I'm just going to dip it. Like I said, this is not going to be like the Chick-fil-A crust that has like a super thick breading. I really don't care for a really thick breading. I just like to flavor and have a little bit of a crisp on it. So this is done. Shake off any excess. And then straight down into the oil. I'm going to get another one in and fry them up. See, this is what I wanted to show y'all. When I'm frying them, see how it's not like a super thick batter, but it is really crispy. That's what I prefer when I fry my chickens and stuff. So I've got my sheet pan ready here, and my oven's preheating to 350 degrees just because this is going to sear, and then I'm going to bake them and finish them off. So we're having a slight change of plans. We are not going to be having buffalo chicken sandwiches. I think my husband opened the jar to taste it and forgot to put it back in the fridge, and I probably picked it up and put it in the pantry without checking it because it was not good. So I'm sure it was our error. But either way, I don't have any hot sauce, so we're not going to be having buffalo chicken sandwiches. But all I would do is, while the chicken's cooking in the oven, make it in a pot, in a little saucepan. Make your sauce or dump your sauce into the pot just to kind of warm it up some. And then when it comes out, just take some tongs and just dip it straight in and dip it straight out. And that's all you need. But since we're not going to have buffalo sauce, I'm just going to melt some cheese over the top. So I'm going to let everybody pick what kind of cheese they want and put a piece of cheese over the chicken. And I'm going to serve it with lettuce and tomatoes, and I still have my blue cheese dressing that I made that I'm going to still serve with it too. So just kind of everybody's preference, you know, whether or not they want that. If you're like me and don't really care for blue cheese, I'm just going to put some ranch on mine and have a ranch. No, maybe I can fry up some bacon. Put some bacon on it. I don't have time. No, don't have time. Stop thinking. This is all I'm going to do for it. So, had to improvise just a little bit, but I think it's going to turn out just fine. So this is one of the ones I'm doing for the kids. You can see the chicken is juicy, and it's got a crispy coating all the way around the outside. The kids don't really care for lettuce, so I'm just going to do tomatoes. And this is I'll show you my homemade hoagie rolls. I think I've done a video on those, but these are what I'm going to serve them on. Here's the rest of the chicken. I had quality control just to make sure, but these are all ready to go. I just put them in for a couple seconds just to kind of melt the cheese on top. We'll put them in the buns. I got French fries to serve it with, and dinner's served. Hope you enjoy.